Welcome to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I am your host, Eric Knowles. But before we get started, a word from one of our supporters.
Miami-Dade College has career paths in anything you want to be. What's your story? Be global. Be cutting edge. Be inventive. Be investigative. Be a hero. What do you want to be? Be the best. Be you. Be MDC.
Hi, and welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I am your host, Eric Knowles, and you already know the deal. I'm excited, sitting here. Wow, we've been doing this for a couple years now, and today, this is an exciting topic. I'm here with a new member, Mr. Gerhard Burgger. How are you, sir?
Oh, thank you. Very well. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, as I mentioned, I'm excited about our topic. But before we get into the topic, I want to learn a little bit about you. You have that Arnold Schwarzenegger accent.
I have the accent, but not the looks. Even though I tried really hard.
Yeah,
it just doesn't go. But I should probably clarify why I talk funny, right? So I'm originally from Austria.
Okay.
And grew up there in Salzburg and Vienna. And Arnold is actually from the neighborhood. My mother is a big fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
They grew up very close to each other.
Okay. Okay. And then you made your way to the U.S.
Yes.
And what made you leave? Austria, beautiful country. What made you decide you wanted to come make your way to the U.S.?
Well, at that time I was in linguistics. So
okay.
I was a scientist, and I had already moved to Italy. I lived in Venice, and I visited Los Angeles, and I fell in love with the city.
Okay.
Yeah? So I decided, I want to try that out. And this is how I came to the USA and studied linguistics, or did linguistics at UCLA and USC for a little while.
Now, the one thing great or fascinating about Europeans and folks who live in Europe is, and I'm sure with you, as you said, you're a linguistics.
How
many languages do you speak?
Yeah, well, the problem is you should really ask how many languages I have forgotten.
Oh, wow.
Because, you learn languages over time and then you don't use them.
Right.
So, for example, I learned French.
Okay.
I'm really bad in French. I can say a little bit when I go to Paris, for example, but really bad. I learned Latin. Okay. Nobody speaks Latin to me. I don't understand. Yeah, and so I forgot. I learned Arabic too.
Oh, wow.
Forgot it all. But as a linguist, somehow you get exposed to many languages. The one I still remember pretty well is, of course, where I grew up is German.
Right.
Italian, because I lived in Italy for 10 years, more or less. And, I'm trying to speak English.
How you doing? You're doing very well.
And the question is also why I don't speak Spanish, even though I'm surrounded by Spanish speakers.
And how long you been in South Florida?
Well, I just moved here 3 months ago.
Okay, so you're brand new.
Well, but in Los Angeles, many people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Too, right?
Absolutely.
The problem is the Italian.
Right.
I can speak Italian. I understand Spanish speakers. They understand me, but it's only to a certain level, right? Mm-hmm. And so I never passed above that. So now I'm actually doing classes.
Right.
Because I got to do the Spanish.
Right. No, that is, being able to communicate. Yeah. That's at the end of the day, it's about communication.
Oh, especially here in Miami, I love it. I take an Uber and I know it's going to be a Spanish class, right? Or, like at the entrance here to the university, right?
Right.
The lady at the parking booth.
Right.
She asked me if I speak Spanish. I say, well, I speak 3 words.
Right.
Yeah, but then we did the whole thing in Spanish. It worked pretty well.
There you go. So, as I said, I'm here. I'm excited. Here we are in 2025, and we were talking about before we came on the air was this whole digital AI taking a still photo and making it a video.
Yes.
And your company WSI, talk about how long have you been doing what you do?
So Well, so as I said before, I think when I moved to Los Angeles, I was actually in the science business, right? Then I did something else, but then I moved into the software business.
Okay.
And I worked for a startup that became pretty successful and for a mega company for about, first for the startup and then the mega company Oracle for about 11, 12 years with Oracle. And there I was in product management. So basically decide what should be in the product, talking to customers, talking to people involved with what we're building, software. And so I did that. And so this is how I ended up in software, right?
Okay.
So now WSI is in some sense a company that uses software, right?
Okay.
And we give software or the access to software to our customers, right? With a couple of things around it,
Okay.
like strategy, AI, and then of course it's really a marketing company. So
Right. And reading your bio, and that's you were saying you help companies strategize around AI, marketing, etc.
Right. Yeah. So I actually usually say it first. What we do is business strategy, right?
Okay.
Then AI and marketing, right? Even though you would think the other way around, but it's really this is how people should think about it, how business owners should think about it, right? One of my favorite recommendations, is avoid random acts of marketing. Okay.
Okay.
Because I see that all the time. Business owners try something out. So, for example, they do social ads or they do Google ads or something else for a little while. And so they tell me it didn't really work. So I ask them, so what did you do exactly? How long did you do it? And what happened afterwards, right? And so the message really is, well, they tried it out for a short time, didn't really work it through, and then they stopped.
Right.
So that would be a random act of marketing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard it quite put like that, but obviously understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's being more intentional.
More intentional, you should have a plan,
Okay.
right? A plan that's also forward-looking, not just, what do I do in the next month or two, right? Like a long-term plan. And we work, we make sure that, our customers gets to a plan with us like that.
Right. It's being strategic.
Strategic, exactly.
Right. So it's a matter of, to your point, having a 3 month, 6 month, or a year-long strategy on how you're going to market or engage your company with the public. Okay. How is AI
in there? Well,
and I don't want you to go too deep because we're going to.
No, I don't want to go too deep.
No, I want you to go deep. The reason I said I don't want you to go too deep, I want to say yet because we're about to take a break. But just touch on it just a little bit before we take a break.
Well, it's everywhere, like we just talked about, even in the images that you.
This whole thing, right? The whole image thing, like I said, it really baffles me because as we were talking again. I see these ads on social media, take your photo, take your grandfather, have your grandfather talk to you or something like that. And
yes. You can even pick a voice that's similar. Or if you have a recording, then the voice will be very similar. You can train the AI to use that voice, right? Yeah. So
and it's sometimes somewhat scary also.
Yeah. When I did I did a video of photographs of my mother over the years. I created some sort of a fashion show using AI, right?
Right.
The one thing that was scary was the smile. The AI couldn't get the smile right.
Quite right.
Yeah. But everything else was pretty impressive.
Right. Well, we're going to come back and we're going to get deeper into this AI conversation because the one thing about AI, if you're not using it and you're in business now, you're missing the boat, as they say. The boat has sailed away, but it's how you use it properly. And the other thing is, there's Chat GPT, and everybody's saying that that's old, and there's so many new things. But we'll be right back.
Learn and earn today at Miami-Dade College. College graduates earn 56% more than high school graduates and $1 million more in lifetime earnings. A degree from MDC is your path to greater earning power and career success. Choose from hundreds of affordable high-tech and in-demand career programs, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, business, and nursing. Learn and earn today at MDC and fast-track your career. Enroll now at mdc.edu/purpose.
Welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I'm here with one of our members, Mr. Gerhard Burgger, WSI. We're here talking about AI, and I guess you've been under a rock or locked up somewhere. And even if you were locked up somewhere, you heard about AI. And the one thing we were saying, if you're not using it, you're basically lost. You're being left behind.
Yeah, we're being left behind.
I've been using it in some applications. And then the other thing I noticed, again, on social media, you have these commercials or ads that come up. If you're using AI is old now. They're saying there's all these other things.
In addition to AI?
Yes.
Yes. Like what?
I don't know.
Okay, something else?
Yeah, it's something else. Yeah.
A lot on social media is run by AI, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
you can run your ads using AI.
Right.
I mean, everybody, including us, right? When we do something, there's always AI involved because AI has become, doesn't replace us.
It's a tool.
It's we also say it's like a team member.
Right.
It makes you a little smarter in the areas where you're not so smart.
Right.
And so everywhere, so it's really everywhere in what we do, there's AI involved, right? But then, of course, there's also specific tools that's just AI, right? In the whole marketing process, right? So, the AI the LLMs really that came out recently, a couple of years ago, they really changed search. They changed everything, but search a lot, right? Because, first of all, now you go to Google's actually.
And that's where basically what we know is Google search.
Exactly. And the top is now the AI summary, right? And you don't even have to go further down, right?
Right.
The answer is already there.
Not to cut you off, but even when you're texting, that's a part of AI because it's basically you're sending a message and it's basically bringing in your next word or your next thought.
Right. Yeah. It predicts what you're going to think.
Right.
Yeah. Or you can have a robot doing it for you. You can, if you want to date somebody, you want to go on a dating app and you don't know what to say to girls, use a robot.
Glad I ain't got to worry about that anymore. But how should a business, how do they begin? How do they engage?
Yeah. Well, so often, you start with few customers, right? And most customers you get is via referrals, or you go to chambers of commerce or other business organizations, right, with referrals. And I think this is the best start for most businesses, right? But at a certain point, and many businesses work like that for decades, for years and for decades, and they're happy with this. But at a certain point, you will probably know, people start talking, business owners start saying, well, I get a lot of referrals, but I'm a little worried because what if that stream of new customers dries out or it fluctuates, right? So I'm a little worried. And that's usually the time when customers reach out to us, or future customers reach out to us, right? How do I add customers in addition on top of my referrals, right? And then, we do the strategy, figure out, we have like relatively long calls to figure out what your business is and what you do and what you want to do and what your goals are, right? And this is how we formulate a strategy and formulate what you should be, what we recommend what your steps should be.
Right.
Yeah.
And for a business, obviously just starting, someone, I always say you have to have the back of your house together. And what I mean by that is, make sure you have an accountant, make sure you have a marketing team, making sure you have the right legal setup. And a lot of us really don't, or a lot of businesses, I should say, really don't think about that.
Yeah, that's definitely true too.
They're great. They're great at what it is that
Yes,
they
yes,
do.
yes.
Whether they make a widget or they are great at performing some type of service.
Right.
But now selling that service.
Yes. Well, I think from what I've seen, I think your organization does a really good job with that, because you see these business owners have a talent, right? They have probably done it before, maybe with another company, and now they're doing
Correct.
it, or however, right? They come to this. They have a talent, but you in this organization, you're giving them the infrastructure. You help them build the other stuff around it, right? And so I think that's a really good approach when you do this via an organization like the Chamber of Commerce.
Right. What you just came to Miami 3 months ago, and here we are. You're with the Miami-Dade Chamber. What made you? And you just mentioned chambers in terms of connecting.
Yeah.
Why was it important for you to connect?
Oh, well, look, I work with WSI is a large company. We are international, right? So I'm in Miami. I have my own company here, but I work with this large organization, and they recommend things that we do.
Okay.
Right? One of the things they recommend is go to the Chamber of Commerce. It wasn't even a question. I do, because they know from experience, this is going to help. Now, how is it going to help? Well, from my perspective, it's going to help everybody because we're going to share knowledge.
Right.
We're not necessarily, pushing, selling to each other, right?
Right.
We're sharing knowledge, right? So if somebody comes to me, wants to ask me something about, my area, I share the knowledge, right? And this is how we all somehow go.
Right. How long has WSI been in existence?
I mean, that would be a long story. I think people would probably say, Gerhard, don't say long stories, but they are 30 years old.
Okay.
30 years old, and you can. WSI means we simplify the internet, because 30 years ago, what was there? Web pages. They started creating web pages, right?
Okay.
So now, over the decades, many things changed. Like Google showed up. Now Google search optimization. Then paid ads. Then the mobile changed everything. The mobile phones came up, right? Then social, and now AI. So many changes, and WSI is still around. It's pretty impressive. Yeah.
And speaking of, as you say, there's social media. There's so many different platforms. How does social media, from your perspective, help a business move forward?
Social media is really good to get you known, right? Because you can pay ads, but you can also just post, right? And and these posts show up in other people's streams, right? And so they get to know you, and that's a really good strategy, right? But you have to do interesting posts, right? Nowadays, that's usually videos, right? But it has to be interesting. Otherwise, 2 seconds and
they're gone, right?
So,
and it's funny that you say that. That's why you see a lot of these posts. There's something stupid, but it makes you watch it.
Exactly. Yeah. LinkedIn is a little similar now too, right?
Yeah, they realize they have to adjust.
Right. The posts at LinkedIn getting a little bit more interesting, right?
Right.
So that's important because everybody has too many things to do and nobody wants to be bored, right?
Yeah. Right.
So it's to get the people to know you, right? For really selling, there's social media has some advantages, but for really selling or finding customers, this is where Google is actually stronger.
Okay.
Yeah, but this goes very far in the details already. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of details, and again, the whole AI piece, and they talk about there's, as I mentioned initially, Chat GPT, and it's like that's old, and there's so many new platforms that have come up
doing different things, right? It's like AI is becoming more and more specialized, right? So, I mean, one of the one of the, there's AI tools, you can get agents that do stuff for you, like they handle your, incoming phone calls.
Right.
Kind of agents who organize things for you, agents that take care of your reputation, right? What I really like is like an agent is like a knowledge-based agent. For example, if you have a construction company with many sites, in each site has different rules. Right? Make a little agent for these individual rules, and somebody who speaks Spanish, even if the rules originally in English, can ask there and get the response in Spanish. I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? Yeah.
We're running out of time. This has been amazing. How does someone get in touch with you?
I am on your website.
Okay.
Yes. Then also you can find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
With my first and last name, Gerhard Burgger. You can call me. I can say the phone number.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, good. It's 786-386-0003. And I have an email address too.
Please.
Yeah, as Gerhard, Burgger @wsiworld.com.
This has been an amazing conversation. I wish we had another half hour. We are the Miami-Dade Chamber. You can reach us at m-dcc.org or call us at 305-751-8648. Thank you, Mr. Kruger. This has been a great conversation.
It was really a pleasure. Thank you
Absolutely.
very much.
Today, I stand before you, a proud graduate of Miami-Dade College and the 5th president of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I'm honored to return to the college that prepared me to become a leader in our community, providing an education second to none. So I'm asking you to please tune in every Monday at 12 noon to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce's Member Connection, as I interview members of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce on our Facebook page at Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce or our YouTube channel, Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. To learn more about the Chamber, please go to m-dcc.org or call the Chamber at 305-751-8648.